Hi there, right, welcome back to the my course on DJing with Ableton Live. This one is part 3, and we're going to just start looking at how we can just sort of start to scratch the surface with adding some effects to our DJ set. Little disclaimer again at the beginning, I'm not a DJ, okay, I'm not some superstar DJ. This isn't going to teach you how to actually DJ as such, you know, in terms of well, we'll do a bit of that, but you know, I'm not going to be doing a big tutorial on transitions and song choices and all that. That's up to you. Go and learn that somewhere else. I'm basically just sort of kind of going through the how we can use Ableton Live to achieve some sort of DJ set, and particularly using Ableton Push. Now, the principles I'm talking about here, I'm using Push 1. They're exactly the same for Push 2. Okay, there's nothing different for Push 1 or Push 2. They work in exactly the same way. So whichever version of Push you're using, you will be fine. So first thing we're going to do, so we're going to look at what's called an insert effect today on this this video. So an insert effect is an effect that actually goes on the channel rather than a send effect, which is coming up in part 4 in the next one. So if you think about a DJ controller, okay, a normal DJ controller, it usually has an EQ on it with a lower, middle, and a high. So kind of 3 bands of EQ, and normally you would have very often you would have kill switches, so you can instantly cut out any of those 3 bands on the EQ. So we're going to use the EQ3, which is included, I think, in all versions of Live, if I remember rightly. So if you just go to your audio effects in the browser, and you'll see it should be down here on in the list. So we're going to put an EQ3 on deck A, and we're going to rename that actually as well, EQ deck A. It just helps us when if we're on highlighted on deck B or deck A, we actually know which deck we're looking at down here, rather than just saying EQ3. It's going to just make it a little bit easier. And we're going to do the same thing and stick one on deck B as well. We're going to rename that one EQ deck B. Remember, quick way of renaming, just click on there and Control R, or right click and Control R. So if we look at the EQ3, it's a fairly simple EQ. Let's just do it on deck A. We've got gain controls for the low, the mids, and the high, and we've got these what are often referred to, I think I mentioned previously, as kill switches, which will instantly turn off the low, the mids, and the highs. So if I just play this track, okay, and we can turn off the lows, turn off the mids, and we can turn off the highs. Now if we turn them all off, obviously it completely kills the track because there are no frequencies whatsoever getting through. You can change the kind of cutoff frequency of the low frequency and the high frequency down here, and the shape of the cutoff line kind of thing. But I shouldn't worry too much about that at this stage. Now I have kind of experimented with trying to map these to Push and the dials, and they don't work very well because it's with Push having the endless encoders. It went a little bit weird. So for now on the EQ, all I'm doing is we're just going to map some. The 3 buttons, the kill switches, and we're going to map them to these 3 buttons here. Okay, so this is going to be the deck A, and then we're going to do deck B over on these 3. Okay, so if you followed through the other videos, you'll know a little bit about how we do our MIDI mapping. If you remember, so far we've mapped our play and stop buttons. So we've got the play button up there, stop button below. We do the crossfader along the bottom. And then we mapped the up and down arrows here just to select which track we're going to play. I'm just using one of my tracks for now, just A, for a bit of selfless promotion. I don't care, I'll promote it, whatever. And also, so I don't get done for copyright and this doesn't get taken down and I get sent a bill for thousands of pounds from some dude who I've used his song too much without permission, whatever. Right, where was I? I've gone off on one on copyright. EQ3, right, mapping, yes. So, right, we enter MIDI map mode, so we're going to click up here. And this is the mappings I've had in previously. So, first thing we're going to do then, we're going to map these to these buttons. So we're going to map that one to that one. Again, it's up to you which buttons you do, but these work quite well. We're going to map that one to that one, and that one to that one. That's on deck A, and then we're going to go over to deck B and do the same thing on these 3. Mapping, mapping, mapping. Okay, let's just come out of MIDI map mode for now. So you can see they're now lit up. All right, let's just go back over to deck A. Now, if I turn it off, if I press, you can see it stays off. Right, which we don't want to do, because that means to turn those on, I've got to actually hold the button down. Okay, it's just kind of like the way the default setting of that works. So they're kind of always off until we press the button, and it's what's called a momentary switch. So you've got to hold the button down to do it. We want it to actually work the other way round. We want them to be on all the time, and then they're only going to turn off when we press the button. So we'd have to hold the button down. So it's not something. It's not going to be like a permanent thing that we're going to do to change the sound. So we need to change our MIDI mapping. So you can see here, these are all the 3 on deck A and the 3 on deck B. So basically what we need to do is these need to be the opposite way round. So the way we do it is click on the one we're going to change and go on invert range. And I think, can we do several in one? We can. We're going to invert all of those. So now, let's come out of MIDI map mode. Okay, when I press the button, it will turn them on. And when I press the button and hold it, it will stay off. And then when I let go, it's going to stay on. Okay, let's just check that deck B is doing the same. Yeah, that's fine. So now when we're playing a track, okay, so I'll just drop the low end out. Just hold down on that button. And then bring it back in. Take the highs out. The highs and the lows out. Yeah, you're not going to hear much now, but anyway, there you go. And bang, bring them back in. I'll just let you listen to my lovely song for a second. And I've knocked my flipping camera again. The amount of times I do this. It took me ages to get that straight, and now I've lost it. Oh, how annoying. There we go. I'm happy now. Right, shut up on that. That's quite enough of that. So yeah, there we go. Quite simple, really. Just to do those 3 kill switches, and you've got those instant ways now of just turning on and off your mids, your highs, and your lows. If I can find a solution for kind of doing the, because it's actually a better way I think of doing the mids and lows and highs and so on these would be to use a filter rather than using the EQ. So for now, we're just going to use the EQ3 as a kill switch, and that's pretty much it for this one. So short and sweet. This one. The next, keep an eye out for the next one, part 4, because we're going to deal with send and return effects, which we're going to work on slightly differently. Okay, so thanks for watching on this one. I'll see you on the next one. Please like, subscribe, share. If you've got any questions, any suggestions for future videos, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you're feeling generous and you want to send me a little PayPal donation, I'll put a link in the description, and there's also a link on my YouTube header thing as well. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 4. Cheers.